What I'm hearing you say, and I also believe in what you said, is that we need mentors and sponsors, having skill.
Definitely.
So if you have the desire and you have the skill, you need to position yourself in the right environment by attending the right school. And then you attend the right school, you need to have the right mentors and sponsors so they can push your work out there so the right people can see the work that you're doing.
Definitely.
Okay. I agree.
You need to get the visibility and the notoriety of this industry. So you need to be in touch with the right person. But it can be patrons, it can be galleries, curators, but
Welcome to Negotiation Secrets with Dr. Gloria Esomeme. It is the #1 negotiation podcast for professional women. In this show, we talk about topics that give women leverage to negotiate for the salary and work conditions they deserve. In each episode, we bring guests from different parts of the world, different stages in their career, and from diverse backgrounds to share their journey and experience. I am your host, Dr. Gloria Esomeme. I am an internal medicine physician. I have a master's in global health and a PhD in health services policy and management. In this episode, we have Elodie Yasmina Dermouche. Did I pronounce it right?
That's good.
Okay, she's an art collector. She currently resides in Dubai, but she's originally from France.
Right.
She and her spouse founded the fine art advisory called the Yemen Fine Art Advisory Consultancy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gloria.
Can you share your background and journey into art collection?
Yeah, sure. So as you said, we are art collectors with my husband.
Yes.
But I spent 20 years in the fashion and luxury market before starting in this fine art journey as an entrepreneur. And now, so after years...
And that was in France?
That was in France, yeah, in Paris. Yeah, I used to be event manager at Chloe. I used to be casting director and lately top model manager at Ford Models in Paris.
Wow.
Yeah. So different things, but still in like fashion and luxury industries.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been collecting for more than 10 years now. And my husband used to work in the art market for 20 years.
I see.
So he used to manage Galerie Carstengrave in Paris, taking care of amazing artists such as Tremblay, Louise Bourgeois, John Chamberlain. He was artist liaison of Pierre Soulages.
I like how you just pronounce how this name just roll out of your mouth.
Yeah, it's French names like Louise Bourgeois and Pierre Soulages.
Are you French?
Yeah. Half French, half Algerian.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And so, yeah, we've been collecting for so many years.
Yeah.
And, you know, in this gallery, had like some clients who were like, oh, you have amazing blue chip artists, but do you have emerging artists to advise? Right. So at that time, he was talking to them, like we are talking about like 10 years, 5 years, 10 years ago.
Right.
So he was talking about them, about Lucy Bull, Lisa Bryce, as you said, Nicolas Portis, those artists, and now they are skyrocketing. So they were like, okay, if you need to start your own company, you need to start to advise. You're like, okay, let's do it, but we're gonna do it together. So.
So you insisted that you guys have to do it together?
No, I mean, it was like kind of obvious because we are collecting together.
I see.
He's the art advisor. I'm not advising, but I'm more on the business development
You're
side.
the business side. Yeah. But is there any relationship between the luxury goods industry and art? Yeah.
Especially like more and more. Like now we have collaboration between fashion houses such Dior, for example. They are collaborating with artists,
right?
Like Daniel McKinney, recently Sophia Loeb. And you have so many artists invited now at fashion shows front rows, which is quite new, such Khalida Alves. Sloan also did a collaboration with Marni recently. So it's more and more. Yeah.
Okay. So which of your skills from the fashion industry do you bring to the art world?
I think it's the way the way I used to manage models, it's kind of the same approach, the way that galleries are managing or should manage artists. Unfortunately, I think they don't have the resources or the time to do it properly now, because there is a kind of cycles. There is a big shift at the moment in the art market. That's why there is some galleries that are closing. Since the pandemic, everything became more digital. So
Correct.
galleries had to sell at that time when there were lockdowns everywhere, and so they had to reinvent themselves. And so many platforms are digital platforms for galleries to sell art.
Yeah.
And so collectors start to buy online, which was quite new, because most of the time when you are buying an artwork, you want to see it,
Yeah.
And so they started to develop like very detailed video, close up. So yeah. And
so what you see when you buy it in real life, it actually looks like it's the real.
It should, yeah.
It should, but you said it should. You didn't say it does.
It's really depending on the artist, on the technique, and also on the galleries and the technologies they are using.
Yeah.
There is millions of artists, thousands of galleries, so it's really depending on that. But sometimes, like for example, my husband was working on a artwork acquisition last week, and it was in Seoul. So he traveled just to see the piece in real. He had all the material, but sometimes it's like it's not replacing. But despite this, like collectors start to buy online, and so that's a big shift, because galleries have a very heavy business model. They have a heavy charges like rentals and things like this.
Space,
and they have and they have a very fast cycle. Like every month they need to do opening, new exhibition. It's a lot of work. So sometimes they don't have the time, I think, in my opinion, to manage artists like they should do. And I think that's a big shift at the moment, and that gallery have to reinvent themselves to be able to do their work, like to promote artists.
Right. But these galleries, are the artists for the most part in residence there, or they have their own studios where they create their art and then bring it to the gallery?
They have their own studio for most of them.
So how can you tell? How can you tell when a piece of art would have value in the future? Because everybody is, sometimes you could see an artist. I think this was in Switzerland. I went to Switzerland. I went to the museum there, and it was in Zurich. And there was this piece of art I saw in the museum. It was just one straight line. And that had value and was in the museum because of the artist who did that piece of work. If I draw a straight line, it's not going to have any value. So how do you determine?
So basically there is like intrinsic criteria and also everything around the artist. It's really pending. I mean, what we are developing in our company and Money Fine Art Consultancy, it's like we are ticking boxes. We are really analyzing artwork and artists to be very objective, and we let like the subjective part to the collectors, like what they like, their taste and stuff. But my husband basically is looking at first the artist, from which school he's graduated, what is his technique. So he's really looking at the technique. And what is its significance in the art history. If we can place him in the art history, if he's gonna last, if he has an added value, a signature, something recognizable, something very authentic. And then we are looking and analyzing everything around the artist, such the network of galleries, such very important also who is supporting him, curators, collectors, is it like important collection or not, foundation, institution, museum, does he have the recognition of the art industry, in the art market?
Yeah.
Also now, very important is communication and attention. So social media, visibility, press release, like specific press. So all those things are determining the value of an artist.
So the artist you just described right now is not an artist who is just starting. It's the one who already has some clout, right? It's one who went to like a very notable school. So that artist, it's kind of like this. How I tell some of my friends, I'm like, you go to an Ivy League school, you go to Harvard. People who go to Harvard, even when they do well, they would have done well even if they didn't go to Harvard, right? Because these are people who are ready, they have the innate ability to succeed. Harvard just got them together and then took the glory, right? Fine, maybe there's still a little things they did, but from what you're describing now, where does pure talent come into place? So let's just say I have a cousin who is really talented. What are the chances that that person will be found if they don't have all of these clouds, like the schooling, the education, the connection, the social media, following?
I mean, first, I think like a lot of people think that we can just draw a straight line and it's fine, but it's not really like this. So I think like techniques, people have to learn this at school or,
Gotcha.
academic programs. Yes, of course, there are self-taught artists, but it's like not the majority. Then I think that's very important to be supported by the right carries, because then you're gonna start to do like group shows and then solo shows, and that's the most important thing. Like first, it's I sing the Gary, So your cousin, she should, find the right one. Who's gonna support her, who's gonna promote her work, and getting this attention. Because now, with this big shift in the art market and also the Gen Z collectors that are coming, it's really about attention.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say, and I also believe in what you said, is that we need mentors and sponsors, having skill.
Definitely.
So if you have the desire and you have the skill, you need to position yourself in the right environment by attending the right school. And then you attend the right school, you need to have the right mentors and sponsors so they can push your work out there so the right people can see the work that you're doing.
Definitely.
Okay. I agree.
You need to get the visibility and the notoriety of this industry. So you need to be in touch with the right person. But it can be patrons, it can be galleries, curators. But definitely.
How hard is it to get someone to see you
hard.
when you just
It's hard to stand out because you have millions of artists. I think there is a number, like I don't know if it's an estimation of like 5 million of artists in the world. I mean, it's crazy.
So if I have a child who wants to be an artist, I'll just tell them, I don't know, let's have a backup plan just in case, just in case you never get big. So one day you can feed yourself, because so many people they think they're very talented and then they put their work out there and it never really flies. It just stays there forever.
It's not only about being talented. It's also about bringing a significance in art history. It's important to have his own signature, to have to be authentic, because you are giving a part of you when you are an artist. If you are just trying to be inspired by a lot of artists doing a mix, like you take a shaker and you are doing like lots of inspiration and you do this, it's not working. It's really a part. I mean, when you buy an artwork from an artist, you are buying a part of this artist.
Correct.
And I think that's quite rare.
Yeah, where people actually put their heart into the art that they do and then they become very authentic.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I know this might be different in art. People say you don't have to, when you look at what's been done before, you can recreate it and add your style to it. So that does not work with art if you want to be known.
No, you cannot recreate it.
It
doesn't work like that. You need to bring something new. You need to bring your stone to art history, and that's what makes the difference between a fine artist, a real artist, and someone who has artistic skills, which is completely different, and who is doing like decorative art. It's a different thing. It can be very talented, but if he's not bringing something on the table, a stone art history, like the real art history,
it's just going to be there.
It's not really evaluated. Yeah.
So the American artist that you guys found early when she was just kind of starting out, what was it about her work that stood out?
Sorry?
What was it about her work? How did you guys know this girl is the girl?
She was bringing something different, like something unseen about like shapes, the technique, the way she was painting, the palette colors, all those things together, it was different. Something that we've never really seen, like something new and very authentic, not inspired by a lot of artists of our generation. You know,
it must be really hard to be to stand out in this world. You have to really be different in any field.
Yeah, it's really hard because it's very competitive and there is a lot of people. But when you have this thing, I think it's coming from their, soul.
Right.
It makes the difference.
But with AI now, where's the soul coming from?
Good question. I don't know. It's like quite new, so let's see how it goes with the
because that's huge competition for us, for humans. Like before, people who were writers, they don't have. If people who write for people, I don't know where they fall into right now because AI does the writing for most people. So same thing with art, but you can still tell them you can tell AI what it is you want to write, and they'll write it.
But I think, like with art, that's probably the field where AI can help or work aside artists, but they cannot replace them, because being an artist is also being, human in who you are and with your soul. And I think AI cannot replace that.
You think so? Because if you tell AI, I want you to create a picture, I want it to feel like, put an intense feeling of sadness. I want 3 sticks to be to the left and 4 to the right. And I want the sun to be on this, and AI would produce that. How can you not tell between AI creating that and me doing all of that work myself?
I think it's gonna like the human thing. Yeah. I think AI is a tool, but cannot really replace human. In their artistic way, they have to, give a part of themselves.
They have to give a part of themselves.
Yeah, like, for example, let's talk about Michelle. I think AI cannot do what she's doing.
No, because what she does is very unique. So Michelle, she was a guest on this show, on the previous show. If you haven't seen that show, please go see it. She talked about how she does calligraphy.
Yeah.
And she puts her soul into what she does. It's very unique. You can't reproduce it because, first of all, it's her calligraphy. And then she kind of scribbles on it. I think some work may not be, you can't reproduce some. But others might be.
AI will try to copy her, but
we
won't,
won't
reinvent.
It won't. We'll see what happens in 20 years. Maybe 5. 20 is also far. Yeah. Maybe 5. Huh, okay.
No, I think it's a great tool, but
Yes. Huh. So another question I have for you, still in line with still art. So we could have, and that was a question I also asked Michelle. How do you determine the value of a piece of art? Because value of art is very subjective. There's no there are no benchmarks. It's more like, okay, I'm an artist. I first start, and then I'm selling on the streets, and then someone finds me, then I'm like, oh, now I'm no longer the $10 artist. Now I go up to $1,000, then I go up to $10,000, then my value. So how do you assign value?
Yeah, it's not about the time you took to do an artwork. It's not about the material you are using. It's not about this, like the amount of painting on a canvas. It's not about this, but it's more about the attention and the access of the artist, like the way is promoted, and especially, what makes the value of an artist and an artwork, because it's related. It's the significance and the recognition of the art industry. If you have lots of important collectors that are supporting you, patrons, institutions, museum, of course, the price gonna rise.
Correct.
It's really related on this, and not on the hours you took to do an artwork.
No, it's your clout and the number of people who want you. It's kind of like the Birkin bag, right? So let's switch this to to negotiation, because this podcast is called Negotiation Secrets. So I think the Birkin bag, it's a beautiful bag. It's, it's very unique. But part of what makes more women want the bag is the scarcity of the bag. I can't just walk into a store and say, okay, I want this bag and I can get it today.
Yeah.
No, there is that scarcity. So with women who are in the professional setting, and it's just still talking about value. So trying to make yourself scarce or trying to make or being in the right circle, how do you think that influences the value you can add to yourself when you're negotiating? Maybe for
So, yeah, scarcity is like most of the artworks, except like some print editions or sculpture edition, but most of them it's like unique pieces.
Yeah.
So it's really about scarcity.
It's about scarcity.
We are not talking about numbers. We are really talking about positioning, access, and storytelling. So basically, it's not because it's exactly the same than the Birkin bag. In the art market, it's not because you have the money. It's not about wealth. It's not because you have the money that you're going to have access.
Yeah.
Access, it's about credibility and relationship. So to give you an example, like for example, a gallery is promoting an artist, he's having a solo show. He's quite in demand. And like an artist can produce 10, 15 artworks depending on the artist, the technique, but in general. Every 1 year and a half, 2 years.
Oh.
If you have a waiting list of 50 people waiting for an artwork, you can wait for years. So that's why, as art advisors, we are here to save time and then to save money, because it's really difficult to have access. When a gallery is presenting an artist, they're going to give priority to institutions.
Right.
So for example, on 15 artworks, then they're going to start talking to museums, foundations, art foundations, and they're going to give them the priority on the artwork they want. So after those institutions decided what they want to do, you're going to have access to available pieces, So like, for example, on 15, you're going to have access to 12. And then it's like the waiting list.
Yeah.
It's like kind of the Birkin bag thing.
Yeah.
They're going to give priority to the most important collections. That's for the artist career. That's so important for the artist career. That's great they are doing this because they are managing their career. So they're going to give priority to important collectors, to collectors also who are supporting the gallery, which is a bit weird sometimes, but anyway, it's the way it works. And so at the end, you might have the choice between 1, 2, or 3 pieces, or just nothing.
How long have you ever waited for a piece?
The
longest you've waited?
I know very well an artist in France. We know him very well, but we are waiting almost for 2 years now because he's like producing at a very slow, he's very slow in his work. He has a very complex technique, and waiting for 2 years. But we should have one like very soon now, but we were waiting for 2 years. It's not a lot. Like some people, they can wait 4 years, even decades, and they won't have anything because at some point the artist is like,
it's productivity.
Too big is not affordable anymore, and
And then, so you get on the waiting list. The artist is here. You get on the waiting list, and before it gets to your turn, he's there and he's above your pay grade, and you're like, okay,
definitely,
that's gone.
Definitely, and even it's not a question only about money and the price of the artworks, but also like all the big collectors gonna come and they're gonna be above you. So that's why, like having an art advisor, it's like. It's an investment, it's not a cost, because it saves you time. You're gonna get access, in a easier way than if you are a single collector alone. Because if you are a single collector alone, you don't have the same power. So, art market negotiation is about scarcity and power. You need to get access. That's the most important thing.
Getting access. So what you do for people is people who want a certain kind of art, then you are the middleman, you're between.
Yeah, exactly. We are the middleman. We are advising them on the artist, the artwork, what we believe in this artist, and depending on what they want, the budget they have, we are building collections. We are building collections and legacies. That's very important for them to also build legacies and that have a cultural meaning for the next generation most of the time. So that's what we are doing. And we have also, of course, there is the investment part.
Right.
You know? And so, yes, we are helping them to have access.
So do you buy and keep and then okay, so whatever you're buying, you already have someone in mind when you're buying that piece
we
of
are
art?
buying on behalf of the collectors. There is some art advisors that are working, like especially here in Middle East, like personal shopper. We are not working like this. We have a brief from the collector. I would like this, I would like that. Some are very precise, like I want this artist. So we are working far in advance on this with galleries. We are talking like on the daily basis with them. And to get access to the next solo show, blah, blah, blah. Or the collector doesn't know exactly what he wants, so he's looking at emerging artists or mid-career or established, even blue chip, and we are suggesting that the collector what we think could be a great opportunity for him, what could be interesting for his collection, etc. Pending then on his test. He has the final word,
Right.
what he likes. Some have like some needs precise formats or color palette, some things like this. So we are taking everything in consideration and then we advise. But we are always like working on a commission.
Of course.
So the gallery is invoicing the collector and we are invoicing the collector as well, a commission fee fixed, and that's it. We are not personal shopper. We are not buying pieces.
No, you don't buy and keep. You just connect both of them together. Has it ever happened that there was like an artist you thought was going to get big, but they never got bigger than you thought than they were?
To be honest, for now, not really. No, honestly, I mean, it's not because of me. It's because of my husband Shaba.
Yeah.
But yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows his job, and when he's believing in an artist, for now,
we've been lucky so far. Everyone he's bet on has done well.
Yeah, because he's really analyzing his technique and his work, but deeply. Not just, we've seen some art advisor like doing this, like, oh, it's beautiful. It doesn't mean anything is beautiful. Beautiful for someone, but not for someone else.
Correct.
So he's really analyzing artwork and artists deeply.
Yeah.
And techniques and significance in art history. It makes the difference.
So let me go back to one question I asked earlier. So for professional women who are trying to advance their career, what lessons can we take from these artists who have really made themselves very unique, where now they can negotiate for any amount and people are lining up waiting for them? So what lesson can we take and then apply? So when we're building ourselves up, we can get to the point where we can name a price for our value.
I think maybe the point that is important is the storytelling. When you are presenting yourself and when you are positioning yourself. I think women, they have to give this kind of, scarcity we can find in the art world and to position yourself very unique.
Yeah.
And very authentic. I think that makes the...
So you position yourself in a unique way and you try to have an authentic voice. And then you also create visibility. You also have to tell a story about yourself.
Yeah, that's also an important point. That's true. Now it's very important to have also the visibility and the attention.
And everyone, because before visibility was so hard to achieve. Because it's either you are on the network and someone is making you visible, or you are on a magazine, but now everyone is a TV station. You can you can be visible if you want to. Okay. Let me. You're gonna say something. You can go ahead and say it.
No, but you're right. It's very important. To manage to stand out, but I think with authenticity and uniqueness,
okay,
you make yourself valuable.
So what's your so when you buy art, I really don't know how the art. All I know about art is it's beautiful. I go to galleries, I go to museums, but I'm not like a collector of expensive art. The art that I have in my home are the art that kind of speak to my heart. I see it, I like it. I'm like, I'm keeping this forever. Those are the arts I have in my house. But for you, when you buy art, how do you negotiate? What's your number one?
So first, to bounce on what you've said,
Yeah.
when we buy art, that's very important to buy with our heart.
Yes.
And, to feel a connection with the
Yes.
artwork or the artist.
Yeah.
But then to negotiate, again, it's not about numbers, it's really about getting access. So you can ask always like for a 10% discount or 15 or 20%. Like recently, some collectors were asking for a lot of discounts, like big discounts. You can ask for the gallery to offer the transportation, things like this. But
it's okay. So you can start asking for other things, not necessarily the discount on the price of the art, but okay, you deliver.
You can ask, yeah, you can ask for many things actually. But realistically, for in very high demand artists, like the ones like Birkin bag with 50 people on the waiting list. 50 people is a lot in the art market.
Yeah.
You cannot really, you won't have the discount, if you ask for it. You're going to have the access, and that's the privilege,
Oh, so sometimes you're just having access is the privilege.
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
That's such an elite.
Yeah.
Well, it's art. It's.
It's like Hermes and the Birkin bag. Like, we can offer you this one. Oh, that's not the color you want. Take it or leave it. If you don't want it, there's going to be someone else.
There's someone else in line.
And that's a bit the same with the art market. When you have 50 people, it's like a privilege to have access. And that's our job, to give access to our clients.
Who would not have had access. They would not have had access on their own.
Because we have the power to buy on a weekly basis. We have a roster of collectors. So we have the power to buy a certain amount per year and to have relationship and deals with the galleries all along the year. Of course, we are more powerful than a single collector, except like really very important collectors, but they don't need art advisor, So, but when you start, it can be very frustrating.
What's the biggest challenge you faced? Because you said it can be challenging. What challenges have you faced?
I mean, it's when you cannot have the piece that your collector wanted because a museum is acquiring it, which is quite good as well, because we're like, okay, that's good. I mean, she's going to be at Whitney Museum or at, whatever. We're like, good for her. That's good for the artist. You're happy for the artist.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be frustrating.
It can be frustrating.
Because even for the collector, they really fell in love with a specific artwork. And no, you can have access to this artist, but it won't be exactly this piece, because this piece is acquired by, a foundation. So you have the choice with those ones.
You have to look for something else.
Sometimes it can be, a bit challenging.
Is there a difference in the market here in Dubai compared to France? And if there is, what is the difference?
So, I mean, the difference is like European market, US market is very international. Asian market like South Korea, China, Japan, now it's like international marketplace. UAE is quite new, but we think the Middle East and UAE, they have the strongest potential or the highest potential to become one of the most important marketplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the most promising one, and it's probably the fastest rising one. So, now you have, in UAE, you have 3 different places: Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah. Sharjah is more about tradition. They have an amazing biennale. You have Abu Dhabi and Saadiyat Island with the Louvre. Soon you're going to have the Guggenheim, which is like an amazing one. And Saadiyat Island is just a gem. You have also in the Middle East the auction houses that came to Saudi. And you have soon Art Basel that's going to come in Doha, in Qatar. So the whole Middle East is blooming, definitely. But it's different in a way that, I mean, and that's important for us. That's one of our mission, cultural mission, because as I said, we are half French, half Algerian, and we want to do bridges, between cultures, between European culture and Menaza one.
Yeah.
And here you still have a lot of artists from the Middle East
Okay.
that are still unknown from the European, US international market. And we want to, to break them and to promote them. And that's the same also the other way. There is some really French talented artists. We would like to bring them here. So like, for example, we advised an artist called Zainab Saleh. She used to have her studio here in Dubai. She's between like London and Dubai. And yeah, we promoted her to collectors here, but also to collectors in Europe. She has been exhibited at Tate Museum in London. She was like recently at Consultancy in Shanghai. And we want to bridge culture. That's very important for us. So yeah, this market has a lot to do, and there is a lot to do, but it's the most promising one.
How long have you been in this market? Have you been in Dubai and in the Middle East?
For a year.
So why did you move down here?
Because we were thinking about this. Like it's, the economy is great. UAE, I mean, I'm really grateful to live here. They are giving you, and I think especially for women, I think UAE is giving women the way to, live their dreams, and to build their dreams and and they empower women. You don't have really limits here, and
but the people from America, because when I told them I was moving to the UAE, they had no idea what it is like here. They felt it's a culture that represses women. They felt it's a culture where women don't have a voice. They think many women cover up, and some women cover up, and some women dress however way they want to dress, but they really do not understand that the UAE, it's a little bit more advanced in how the women live their lives. The women here are very educated. They have a voice. And what I've noticed here is that maybe I haven't stayed long enough, and then maybe my views may change, but the views that I have right now is I don't see women and men fighting. No. I don't see women trying to say, oh, the men are evil. I just hear women just talking loud with their voice. Let me ask you one question. I ask everybody who comes on this show, because the show is called Negotiation Secrets. So what's your number one negotiation secret? I like how you laughed. You can tell us 10.
Because I'm like, oh, maybe, when I was a model agent, I used to negotiate a lot. So I think it's just like be firm on what you have in your mind, and sometimes it's important to not negotiate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to have a red line, and to be firm with what you want, what you think you deserve, your value. I think So when you have this in mind, like this kind of frame. If you won't go out of this frame, you're fine with what you negotiate.
Because I also do that. So I sometimes, when I'm going to go negotiate, I already have, like I said, I'm not going to go below this price. This is what I'm going to ask for. And when I go there, I may go there laughing. I may go there with a strict, it depends, but I already know I'm not going to go below this price. And when I go there and we talk and it just doesn't work out, I'm like, all right, I knew I wasn't going to go below this price. So is that what you're describing?
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, if you know what you want, you're always happy with how it ends,
Yeah.
No matter how it ends, you're happy with it.
Yes.
It's just important to never undervalue.
Correct.
Who you are, what you do, and yeah, that's.
But is there any time when sometimes we have to maybe just be a little bit more flexible? So maybe for someone.
I think when you are comfortable with, between what you're gonna earn and what you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But
it's important to determine this before in your head and say, okay, I'm okay to lose this, but not more than this, or and I think it's that's my point. I think it's very important to know exactly before negotiating what you are ready to lose or not. And
I think in negotiation we call that the BATNA, the best alternative to a negotiated outcome. You decide that, okay, I'm not this. If I don't get this, there's another alternative.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. So, what other words of advice do you have for my listeners?
Yeah, I think that's important also to understand his own power and to don't be afraid of, expressing it. It's not aggressive when I'm saying
No,
this, but,
yes, yeah.
in the way that negotiation, it's about power and the role that, everyone is playing, everyone involved is playing. So it's important to know exactly our strengths, our weakness, and to play with it and to be very lucid about this.
I like that. Know your strengths and your weakness and be lucid, be able to articulate it clearly. I like
Yeah.
that. Where can my audience find you?
On Instagram,
Okay.
Money for Not Consultancy, on LinkedIn. That's our main
You said it so
thing.
fast. I'll write it on the show notes so they can find
And
find
on our
you.
website, yeah. yfac.ae, yfac.ae.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put it there so they can find you. And so if someone if we have so collectors can reach out to you on LinkedIn, they can reach out to you on Instagram and through your website.
No worries.
Elodie, thank you so much for coming on this show. I
Thank you,
usually
Gloria.
end this show with 3 asks from my audience. So the first ask I have is that, and it's based on the advice from Elodie. So what I want you to do is go back and look for your strengths and weaknesses, write them out, just so it's clear. So the next time you have to negotiate, you know what you bring to the table. Well, maybe you can do 2 things. And the next time you want to negotiate, have a benchmark and say, this is the minimum I'm going to go. Just know what you're ready to trade off and then go based on that. So that's my 1A and 1B ask. So my second ask is, I want you to subscribe to this channel, share this episode with your friends. Let's build a community of women who support each other. And then the third thing is, I strongly believe that anyone who listens to my podcast, and even if it's your first time listening, I believe every woman has the potential to be great. So go be great. Thank you for listening.